The calendar flips to July 3, 2025, a seemingly ordinary date, but one that would soon be etched in the annals of political controversy. News outlets are already buzzing with anticipation, covering the lead-up to a major political rally. In Des Moines, Iowa, a familiar figure took to the stage, former President Donald Trump. The crowd roared, a sea of faces eager to hear his words. Little did they know, his speech would soon ignite a firestorm of debate and accusations. The controversy stemmed from his use of the word Shylocks to describe certain lenders. The remark, seemingly off the cuff, reverberated far beyond the rally grounds, quickly becoming a national headline. News channels dissected every syllable, political commentators weighed in, and social media exploded with opinions. The term, far from being a casual synonym for loan shark, carries a weight of historical baggage. It's not just a simple descriptor, it's a loaded term, steeped in centuries of prejudice and discrimination. Shylock is widely recognized as an anti-Semitic slur with centuries of painful history. Its origins can be traced back to Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice, where the character Shylock was portrayed as a greedy Jewish moneylender. This portrayal, though fictional, has had a lasting impact, perpetuating negative stereotypes about Jews and money. Its use by a prominent political figure raised immediate concerns across the political spectrum and within various communities. The question on everyone's mind, was this a deliberate act or a careless choice of words? The incident sparked a crucial conversation about normalizing harmful stereotypes in public discourse. How do we ensure that language, especially from influential figures, doesn't contribute to prejudice and discrimination? The backlash revealed a deep divide, a chasm of understanding and interpretation that underscored the complexities of addressing historical prejudice in the modern age. Some saw it as a generic insult, a mere figure of speech without any malicious intent. They argued that the term had lost its historical significance and was simply being used to describe unscrupulous lenders, while others immediately recognized its roots in anti-Jewish persecution, understanding the deep-seated pain and historical trauma associated with the term. For them, it was a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked prejudice and the importance of historical awareness. This video will delve into the origins of the term Shylock, tracing its evolution from a literary character to a derogatory slur. We'll examine the context of Trump's remark, analyzing the specific circumstances in which it was uttered and the potential motivations behind it. We'll also explore the response from Jewish organizations and community leaders, understanding their perspectives and the actions they took in response to the controversy. And finally, we'll consider the broader implications for public discourse, examining how this incident can inform our understanding of prejudice, language, and the responsibilities of public figures. Ultimately, this is about more than one word. It's about the underlying currents of prejudice that can surface in unexpected ways, even in the 21st century. It's about the power of language to perpetuate prejudice or foster respect, to divide or unite, and the critical importance of choosing our words with care and awareness. To understand the controversy surrounding the term Shylock and why it carries such a heavy weight of historical prejudice, we must revisit Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice. This play, a cornerstone of English literature, has at its heart a character that continues to spark debate and discomfort even today. It was written over 400 years ago, during a time when societal attitudes towards marginalized groups were vastly different from our own. Understanding the historical context is crucial to grasping the complexities of the play and the character of Shylock. Shylock, a Jewish moneylender, is a central figure in the play's narrative. He is portrayed as an outsider and villain, often depicted with exaggerated and unflattering characteristics. His role in the play is not merely that of an antagonist, but also a representation of prevailing prejudices of the time. Shylock embodies anti-Semitic stereotypes of greed, vengeance, and a relentless pursuit of financial gain, reflecting the deeply ingrained biases present in Elizabethan society. His infamous demand for a pound of flesh from Antonio, the merchant of Venice, became a symbol of merciless cruelty and unwavering adherence to the letter of the law, regardless of the human cost. This portrayal had the unfortunate effect of reinforcing negative caricatures of Jews, perpetuating harmful stereotypes that have persisted for centuries. While Shakespeare, to his credit, gave Shylock moments of humanity, allowing glimpses into his pain and motivations, the character's legacy in popular culture is overwhelmingly negative, overshadowing any attempts at nuanced interpretation. Over time, Shylock became shorthand for a ruthless lender, someone who is perceived as greedy, exploitative, and lacking in compassion. This association began detaching from its literary roots, evolving into a derogatory term used far beyond the context of Shakespeare's play. This detachment cemented its role as a slur, a word loaded with historical baggage and used to denigrate Jewish people. The name's transformation into a common insult, divorced from its original context, ensured its continued association with harmful stereotypes, perpetuating a cycle of prejudice and discrimination. This deeply ingrained legacy is precisely why the term remains so offensive today, serving as a painful reminder of historical antisemitism and the enduring power of harmful stereotypes. The word Shylock is inseparable from centuries-old anti-Semitic tropes about greedy Jewish moneylenders. Historically, Jews were often forced into moneylending roles due to restrictions on other professions, making them targets for economic resentment. The stereotype, embodied by Shylock, fueled discrimination and violence, from medieval Europe to Nazi propaganda. Today, using Shylock invokes this legacy, regardless of intent, and perpetuates dangerous myths. Advocacy groups like the ADL and modern dictionaries clearly identify it as an anti-Semitic slur. The impact of the word is defined by its history and the pain it causes, not just the speaker's intent. Using it, even unknowingly, helps keep anti-Semitic ideas alive. At the Des Moines rally, Trump discussed tax policy and borrowing, contrasting fine bankers with Shylocks and bad people. The remark, broadcast to millions, placed Shylocks among negative actors, amplifying its impact. For some supporters, it may have seemed like colorful language, but for many, it was an immediate red flag. The word's use in such a public, high-profile setting was especially alarming. Critics argued that, intentional or not, Trump's language normalized a harmful stereotype. The controversy quickly became national news, reigniting debates about the responsibility of public figures. Words spoken from the podium carry weight far beyond the moment. The Anti-Defamation League, ADL, a prominent organization dedicated to combating anti-Semitism and all forms of hate, responded swiftly and decisively to the controversial remarks. Their reaction was immediate, reflecting the gravity of the situation and the potential harm such language could inflict. They specifically addressed Trump's use of the term Shylock, labeling it very troubling and irresponsible. This initial assessment set the tone for their comprehensive response, highlighting the problematic nature of the word and its implications. The ADL further explained that the term evokes centuries-old anti-Semitic tropes and stereotypes about Jews and greed, perpetuating harmful and false narratives that have historically led to discrimination and violence. This historical context is what makes its use so dangerous and unacceptable in modern discourse. Their official statement emphasized that such language, particularly when amplified by a prominent figure, from a political leader with a significant platform and influence, feeds directly into a climate of prejudice, normalizes hateful rhetoric, and contributes to the alarming rise of anti-Semitism we've been witnessing in recent years. The ADL's strong and unequivocal response was quickly echoed by numerous other Jewish organizations and community leaders, who stressed that the speaker's intent, whether malicious or simply ignorant, is ultimately irrelevant. The negative impact and potential harm caused by the words are what truly matters. This unified condemnation from various organizations and leaders effectively reframed the conversation surrounding the incident, ensuring that the deeply rooted historical weight and significance of the word Shylock wasn't dismissed or minimized in the public discourse. The incident and the subsequent outrage quickly became a powerful rallying point for various advocacy groups and civil rights organizations, collectively demanding greater accountability and responsibility from all public figures, regardless of their political affiliation or social standing. The message was clear and unambiguous. Words have consequences, and they matter deeply, especially when spoken by those in positions of power and influence. When questioned, Trump claimed ignorance, insisting he didn't know Shylock was considered anti-Semitic. He described it as simply meaning a high-interest moneylender, denying any intent to offend. This defense, claiming not to know, did little to satisfy critics or the Jewish community. Many argued that a public figure of Trump's stature should be aware of the historical baggage words carry. Ignorance, they said, is not an excuse. The harm remains the same. The focus shifted from Trump's intent to the real-world impact of his words. For many, the incident highlighted a broader failure to take antisemitism seriously. The controversy underscores the immense responsibility leaders have in shaping public discourse. Words from a political figure are amplified, influencing social norms and either validating or challenging prejudice. When a leader uses a slur, it can normalize hate and embolden those with bigoted views. Advocacy groups react strongly because unchecked language erodes the taboos that protect marginalized communities. Stereotypes in public speech can reinforce discrimination in policy and society. Leaders can choose to unite or divide with their words. Trump's remark was seen by many as divisive. The incident is a stark reminder. Language from the top sets the tone for the nation. Jewish communities largely viewed Trump's remark as part of a troubling pattern, not an isolated slip. Polls showed over half of Jewish voters saw Trump as anti-Semitic, and most disapproved of his efforts to combat antisemitism. The use of shylock reinforced existing anxieties and skepticism about his intentions. While some supporters defended him, the majority response was condemnation and disappointment. Major Jewish organizations and most voters saw the remark as a painful reminder of enduring stereotypes. The incident deepened concerns about the normalization of anti-Semitic language in public life. Trump's Shylocks comment is a powerful lesson in the lasting impact of language. Words like shylock are not neutral. They carry the weight of history and can reopen old wounds. For public figures, ignorance is not a defense. The consequences of their words are too significant. Leaders should strive for language that builds understanding, not division. For everyone, this is a call to empathy and education. Listen when a community says a word is hurtful. True communication means choosing words that foster respect and connection. The debate over this remark reminds us, building a just society starts with the words we choose every day.